Hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video, and today I'm back with another interview and I'm here with Denzel Browne Jr. How are you, lad?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm great, thank you very much for doing this.
No worries, man.
Great, and so am I right in saying you're a light heavyweight and you're 5-0?
Yeah,
And I,
correct.
I couldn't quite find how old you were, so I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind answering that.
I'm 28 on Sunday.
Okay. So yeah, if you're on your around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, the question which I always like to start off with is, who inspired you to get into boxing?
It's a tough one because my dad was a pro, so it's always been like around me from young. But I think I'd have to say Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, a real inspiration for a lot of fighters he was.
Bad boy fighter.
And so, why did you get into boxing? Was it mainly through your dad?
Um, no, at first I was a footballer when I was going down the football route, but then I started getting in trouble and fighting. So my dad thought I have to put this anger and energy into something besides football. So I started training in the boxing gym, and then the rest was history.
Definitely. And so, did you then go down the amateur route?
Yeah. I've done the amateurs. Amateurs. What did I have? I think I've had 30 fights, and I think I've won. I think I've lost 8.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
think I've had
record.
around 30, lost 8 maybe.
Yeah, solid record. Do you kind of remember what happened in your first amateur fight?
Ooh, my first amateur fight. Briefly, all I know is that I stopped him.
Alright, so it must have been a bit of a blur then, I suppose.
Yeah, quite a few years ago. It's a while ago.
Yeah, and what would you say is your biggest achievement from the amateurs?
Amateurs. Probably reaching the ABAs, the semi-finals. I'd say after, yeah.
Great, and
Probably reaching the ABAs.
great. And so, why did you turn pro when you did?
I felt like the amateurs, there was nothing there for me anymore, and I wanted to carry on boxing, so I thought pro route. And it suits my style of fighting, I believe, as well.
So, in a way, you kind of outgrew it.
Yeah, more or less. Amateur, it's all about that tappy stuff and scoring points. Amateur, it's more about, the attacker, the more ferocious fighter. And I believe that's more me and my style. So at the time, I think it was the right time for me to change. So whatever.
Great, and so you've had the 5 fights now. You are unbeaten, but I was wondering which fight would you say has been your toughest?
Toughest. Probably my last fight, to be fair. The kid had a tough head and he didn't want to go down. And he won. Obviously, I'm still building my way up, so your first opponents that you get matched with, they're not, like anywhere at the caliber that you're on. They're just more or less there to survive or, get taken out.
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, my last fight probably.
So, is that also, what would you say, the fight you performed your best in, or would you say there's been a previous one?
My best, I believe, with each fight, I've got that little percentage better. So probably my last fight.
So, does that mean that you believe that the best is yet to come for you?
Yeah, of course. I'm still building up. I've still got a long way to go.
Great, and so you spoke about the fact that you're still building up, and you've been quite active recently. And so I was wondering, when do you think you'll be fighting again?
Ooh, currently I don't have a license.
Right.
Because I'm still on license for a conviction.
Right.
So I've got 8 months left on license, and then as soon as my license is finished, I can get my boxing license back. So next year, hopefully.
Has that in a way set you back a little bit?
Yeah, of course, big setback because it's like I haven't fought since 2019. We're going into 2023. So yeah, it's definitely a setback, but the best is yet to come, man. I just have to make up for the time that I missed.
Yeah, definitely. And so when you do come back fighting, I'm sure you're going to be wanting to rebuild your fan base. And so I was wondering, why should the fans come and watch you? What makes you different to other fighters?
I believe I'm an exciting fighter. You know, there's not many fighters out there I can adapt to any style. A lot of people can't adapt to mine in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I always take the time out, you know, to meet and greet new people and learn new things. You know, I'm an easy guy. I'm a nice guy. Like, you know.
Yeah, I get you. So you're just at the start of your career at the moment, and I was wondering, how far do you believe you can go?
I believe I can go all the way as long as I've got the right mind frame and the right team around me. I believe I'm going to the top.
Yes, okay. And so speaking about going to the top, that means you have to fight some big fights. And so I was wondering if you could give me a possible active dream opponent.
A dream opponent? Ooh, I would have to say either Anthony Yard, because there's a lot of hype around him when he fights. But me personally, I don't believe he's all that.
Right.
There's Ben Whitaker, who's up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of hype around him, but we don't know if he can take a punch yet. No. So him, and then there's my boy Lyndon Arthur. He beat me in the amateurs in the ABA semi-final. So me and him, we have to get back in there and, you know, chop it up.
Yeah. I suppose that you've also seen the new announcements of Lyndon Arthur getting back in the ring.
Yeah, of course. He's signed with Wasserman. Is it Wasserman Productions? Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, man, Lyndon does his thing. He's a good fighter, man. I can't take anything away from him.
Definitely. And so I'll leave it with this final question. You've got a little bit of a platform. Would you like to shout anything out? So
my Instagram, Denzel Browne Jr. All the socials is just my name, more or less. Snapchat, DB Boxing, Twitter, Denzel Browne Jr. But the Instagram, Denzel Browne Jr. It's all my name.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Great. And maybe when you are fighting at these big fights, we can maybe do a return interview.
Yeah, man, of course. Anytime.
Great. Okay. Well, if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video. And thanks for watching. So yeah, thank you very much, mate.